2017 may have been the year of the loot boxes, but it was also the year of microtransactions and loot box stigmatization. While these kinds of practices went relatively unnoticed in years prior, after the whole Battlefront 2 fiasco, they are now at the forefront of gaming discussion. And the one feeling the full brunt of backlash from gamers, media, and government officials right now is EA, who are by far the most egregious in their implementation of predatory practices. For them, it's all been part of a push towards their Games as Services initiative, a business model that's at the core of their current financial success, albeit one that's all in peril due to the fact that legislators are now pushing towards their regulation. Most recently, presenters at the Video Game Awards 2017 joined in the fight against microtransactions and loot boxes. Zachary Levi went off script at one point while presenting Best Action Game of the Year to do a little skit about how stupid microtransactions are. Bethesda then showed their own skit dissing EA's recent comments about how gamers allegedly don't enjoy single-player games like they used to. And then there was this guy.
And this is my idea. It doesn't have anything with the EA shit going on, with the loot box and stuff.
Okay.
No. Fuck the Oscars, you know? Fuck the Oscars! Fuck you!
Point is, word about the issue has gotten around enough that the world's becoming ballsier about speaking out against these practices now that their stigmatization has reached mainstream level. And the next to join in the conversation is Sony Interactive Entertainment's own Sean Layden. When asked by host Greg Miller about what Layden's vision is for PlayStation looking at 2018, here's how he responded.
Well, I think we continue along our path, putting my Worldwide Studios hat on. I think in Worldwide Studios we have a lot of energy, a lot of devotion, a lot of love around storytelling, around narrative. You know, some people call that single-player gaming. We do have most of our eggs in that basket, just because that's the thing we do well, I think. In my humble opinion, IMHO. And I don't want to go to any of those teams and tell them, you know, I read in a magazine that there's something called Games as a Service. Make me one of those. I don't want to be that guy. So that's what we do. We do Horizon, we do God of War, we do Detroit, Uncharted, The Last of Us. These are the things we're going to continue to, you know, lean into really strong. So I see our content story, you know, continue to play out that way.
Oh man, what a relief it is to hear statements like that. It's kind of sad that what used to be such a standard thing has suddenly turned into a headline-worthy news, but hey, I'll take all I can get. So bottom line is that Sony is not planning to pull an EA and abandon single-player games or turn franchises that originated as single-player and find a way to reshape them into services and whatnot. Now, if this were EA saying this stuff, I'd be hard-pressed to trust them, but Sony's had a pretty good track record so far as prioritizing player experience goes, so I have no reason to think that there is any underlying intentions behind these words. However, that's not to say that we shouldn't stay on our toes moving forward. In case you forgot, during Sony's quarterly financial conference call hosted at the end of October 2017, CFO Kenichiro Yoshida talked about how the proportion of items sold in-game is increasing, how under the leadership of the new CEO John Kodera, who built up Sony's network before replacing Andrew House, they intend to strengthen the direction of the recurring revenue business, how third-party sales of in-game items and content is very significant for Sony, and that on the first-party front, there will be, quote, appropriate exploration and decisions taken in the future. So yeah, hard to say for sure what the future holds, but all this talk of recurrent revenue, sales of in-game items, and the sudden shift in management does have me worried a little bit. We'll have to wait and see what happens. For now, I'll try to see the glass half full and take Sean's word for it. I'll believe that Sony will work towards the preservation of no bullshit, no frills, single-player story-driven games, and won't succumb to greed at the expense of the player experience. But if I do find out that they're bullshitting us, well, you can be certain that I and many others will be there to call them out on it. Fingers crossed it doesn't come to that though. With that, I would like to end this news update. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found this video informative, and if you enjoy my content, consider supporting me on Patreon to help this channel stay independent and self-sustained. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.